Hello, welcome to this next version of the next episode, I should say, of Webinars Now. I'm Dave Lundahl, and I'm really happy to be co-presenting today on the subject of raising the bar in insights delivery for innovation. And so today we'll be talking about what are insights, why the need to raise the bar, and we will be unveiling the Innovation Center, which is a portal that we are launching today, which is designed to raise the bar in accelerating the delivery of more behavioral insights for product development, for innovation, for marketing. And to step us through this unveiling, I'm happy to be co-presenting today with Kate Hamilton, the director of the Innovation Center. So she'll be giving us a tour a little later on. So anyways, let's get going. So if you don't know Insights Now, this is one of the key beliefs that we have, changing the way that we look at humans, and covers new insights into why products succeed and improving speed to and success in market. And I'm Dave Lundahl. Again, I'm the CEO for Insights Now. My passion in life is, one of my passions in life is about changing the world through innovation. I deeply believe in it. It's the way that we can hopefully make a cleaner, healthier, and happier world. I'm passionate about things like applying new techniques, especially those that are more behavioral. We'll be talking today about neuroscience and how it could be applied to speed up successful product development innovation. And Kate, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dave. So hi, everyone. My name is Kate, and if you've ever been to a webinar before, you may have seen that I have presented a number of times with different teammates, but this is actually my very first presentation in this new role as being the director of the Innovation Center. So I'm really excited to share with you the platform, what you can expect out of it, and give you, that little virtual tour that Dave talked about. Thanks for joining us today. At Insights Now, we are known for being innovators on insights. We take a behavioral approach to understanding humans and human behavior in everything that we do. And some of the ways we do that is different, including our behavior scoring and insights for innovation and product development. We've also developed this assisted DIY platform that we'll be sharing with you today. And we have a really strong ecosystem of innovation partners. While most of the session is a bit show and tell for the unveiling of the new platform, we'd still love to hear from you. You may write into us using the chat or question boxes in the webinar panel. And we also have our teammate Shelly with us today, who can assist if you're having any kind of technical difficulties. We do have a video that we'll be playing for you later. And there's going to be a recording of the session sent out to everyone who registered.
Yeah, so to get into things and get started, we like to start today with a little poll, okay? And so I'm going to launch this poll. You can all this is the question, how are you seeking in your roles in the companies you work for to raise the bar in insights this coming year? And this is a select all that apply. And so if you could please collect in here, and I'll share the results here in a second. Looking for a few more votes here. We got a little over half that have voted so far. I know it's so just about everybody. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. Maybe a few more. Okay, I'll close it here, and I'll share out the results. So it appears that we have, looking at the results here. Kate, can you tell me? I can't see the results here very well. Go ahead. Okay,
Oh
I
yeah,
see.
not a problem.
Yeah.
we For new metrics, databases, and data sources in the quantitative space, there's 82% of our audience today is looking to raise the bar in insights in 2021 with that type of expansion. Tied at 82% as well are new tools, techniques, methods, and software. And I think between those two things, you're going to get a lot out of this platform that we're going to share with you today.
Yeah. So kind of moving forward, the reason why I kind of we chose that is, as many that ever since the beginning of COVID, we have been, as Insights Now, tracking change in consumer and shopping behavior. And what has become really crystal clear to us is that consumers and shoppers have not only been extremely disrupted, but they are not going to return to the sort of norms of the past pre-COVID. What this research has shown, and what we have been able to make, is some really interesting forecasts. We predict there's going to be a huge demand in new products, especially in the second half of this year. More people are going to be concerned about what is cleaner and healthier. They're going to be seeking products to help them sort of feel happier, to align with senses of hope and things for the future. They're going to be trying to reconnect with their friends and their families, and products that help that will be things that they will buy. They're going to be supporting brands that they perceive to be socially responsible and positioned as good for the environment. And last but not least, trust is going to be even a bigger criteria than pre-COVID. And the brands that they will buy are ones that they most trust. So what does this have to do with insights? Well, every CPG company is going to need faster and better insights to know what to build and how to market the products that they bring to market. And given the surge and the opportunities, especially come the second half of this year, now is the time to be building and developing those, and insights are going to be needed. Now, as someone who's on the supplier side, the insights industry is going to need to raise the bar in insights delivery. And therefore, this topic today is really, really important. Insights are different from data and information. They're different from findings, because not all findings are really insights. And likewise, not all data or information you get from research will lead to insights. So insights are, and I like to think of it as aha moments, where you learn something new about the whys of shopper and consumer behavior, which are relevant to help you solve a problem or make a more informed decision. So kind of in essence, I like to think of it this way, is that what we're doing is we're working to raise the bar in insights delivery to deliver, new pathways to insights to help you understand the behavioral impact of your decisions. So this is where we have found that neuroscience is one of the keys to raising the bar. For neuroscience, if you don't know what this word is, but it is the study of both the conscious and the non-conscious motives of human behavior. Now, neuroscience is a pretty broad scientific field with a lot of different applications. So, neuromarketing is the application of neuroscience that's most relevant for us that are working in the CPG industry. So it's the application of neuroscience for innovation, product development, and marketing. It is key to knowing how your decisions will nudge and disrupt shoppers and consumers. Now, neuromarketing techniques generate what we call behavioral scores. And these are metrics that indicate how motivated people are to take action. That is, for example, to avoid something or to select something based on experimental stimuli that you build into your studies in the context of consumer or shopper moments. Research findings based on these behavioral scores can lead to some pretty powerful insights. For example, if you're developing a beverage for, let's say, a breakfast moment, and the product needs to be positioned as clean label and healthy, then we have developed behavioral scores and techniques that create these scores to test all the potential ingredients you might consider using to see which ones might be avoided because they're not perceived to be clean, or which ingredients based on behavioral scores are implicitly associated in the minds of people as being healthy. So that's an example. So at Insights Now, we've developed all sorts of behavioral scores to cover nearly every aspect of product innovation, development, and marketing, basically for the whole product life cycle. And you can, if you're interested in more on this subject, you can download this ebook and learn more at this point. Now, at Insights Now, those of you that do work with us and know us, you know that we provide, we're really good at providing custom research to provide behavioral scores and behavioral insights, for that matter, needed to address various decisions for product development, innovation, and marketing. Today, though, we are seeing a trend where this process of designing and fielding custom research sometimes is too slow to address the business timelines, the information you need, the insights you need on the moment. Because timelines seem to be just accelerating, getting smaller and smaller. So what we have been doing is thinking about, and we've developed this innovation center as one way to help accelerate that, especially with regard to behavioral insights. So we've invented 3 ways to accelerate the delivery of behavioral insights. And that's what this innovation center is all about. First is to provide access to apps that you can use to more quickly design your own behavioral studies and to accelerate the delivery of the reports, which based on these behavioral scores. Secondly, it provides access to apps that tap into data warehouses we've been building for several years now of behavioral scores, which you can, instead of running research, you can just access. And third, we've provided all sorts of reports that we've been publishing for the last 4 years based on behavioral scores. So with that said, I'm really happy to unveil today with Kate, the Innovation Center as a portal to not one, but there's 3 centers of excellence that we have built into this to accelerate insights, behavioral insights. The first is a learning center, which has a treasure trove of downloadable behavioral reports, past webinars, white papers, ebooks, interesting blog posts on various subjects. And so it's all free and part of the Innovation Center. The second is a scoring center where you can use apps, which Kate is going to step us through here in a minute, to generate custom tables of behavioral scores of various types to help make research insights without the need to run a custom research study. And third, when you need to run a custom research study, we have another series of apps to more quickly and cost effectively design your studies, get them into the field, get back a report, so that you can get your insights quickly. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn this presentation over to Kate, who's going to give us a tour. So take it over, Kate.
Thank you so much, Dave. So we are both very excited to introduce everyone here today to this new Innovation Center. By that curtain draw, we are cutting the ribbon. We are now opening this to the general public. To commemorate and to give you this tour, we have made a really short video to showcase the platform and give you an overview on what you can expect when you log in. Our Innovation Center is an insights hub for innovation and product development teams. When you visit our website, it's our first menu option for easy navigation. Thanks, Dave. When you hover over the menu, you'll see that it opens up to those three different sections that Dave has mentioned. We have the Learning Center, we have the Scoring Center, and we have the Testing Center. And as the Innovation Center grows, we will continue to build out additional applications, and they'll all be listed here. If you need help describing what this new platform is to your team members, this is what you can share. The Innovation Center is where Insights Now's expertise meets the latest research technology. We've built a unique hub that gives you access to our latest thought leadership, proprietary behavioral scores, and research methods to help you design and redesign the most impactful consumer products and messaging. Now, if this sounds familiar, last year we launched the Behavior App Store, which served as the foundation for this Innovation Center. In the past 6 months, we have grown and expanded the features and functionality, and we have future iterations already in the works. Ultimately, it's been designed to help research and development and insights teams find on-demand answers for innovation and new product development. One of the best parts, and remember, I may be biased when I say this, is that our Innovation Center accounts are free. If you don't already have an account, we will be sending you login details to everyone who registered for today's session so that you can start exploring on your own. We'll spend the next few minutes discussing the three main components that make up our Innovation Center. The Learning Center, the Scoring Center, and the Testing Center. The Learning Center is going to be a great place to start for today's show and tell. This application serves as a behavioral library. Insights Now publishes a variety of content on all things consumer behavior, and we now have a one organized section for all things like our webinars, our ebooks, our white papers, our COVID-19 tracker, case studies, and we've got more types of content that are being developed and will be added soon. The resources available in the Learning Center are always free with your account. Now, for example, I'm signed in today with my own private account, not an admin account. So you're seeing the same experience you'll have once you join. In our ebooks section, you'll see all of our available papers and books that you can download. You may have noticed throughout social media and some of our communications that we published a paper recently on neuromarketing research techniques. This is that same paper that Dave was referencing earlier in our webinar today. Inside this paper, it highlights in detail our patent-pending implicit and explicit tests. If you need a place to start when you're exploring the Innovation Center, this paper is a great place to begin. Understanding how our implicit test operates is critical to interpreting how to use the reports in our Scoring Center because it's using that technology. While there are several use cases for the test, all of them include an individually calibrated timed response data metric to a binary answer choice. This could be yes, no, agree and disagree, true or not true, or something like okay and avoid, which is actually the basis for the Scoring Center. Now, before I leave this download, I also want to point out that our Innovation Center is mobile compatible. So once you're signed in, you can download these reports and resources from your phone or your tablet. This is true for the ebooks, the white papers, the case studies, the behavior reports. Anything that you click on in the Learning Center is available on all your devices, making it really easy to share. We're jumping over to the Scoring Center now. Are you sensing a sense of threes? In the Testing Center, we currently have 3 different applications for our behavior scorecards as they relate specifically to ingredients. Right now, we have a database of scores for food and beverage ingredients as well as supplements. And we're actively building new sections for personal care and beauty ingredients, household products, pet food and treats, and even baby food. If there's an ingredient category your team is exploring and you don't see it in our list, tell us. We can work together to grow the knowledge and the data available. Like I mentioned a moment ago, in the Learning Center, running scoring reports is a credit-based system that requires an annual license. For the new account holders that we're uploading after today's session, you'll start off with 3 trial credits to use in the next 30 days. All 3 of these behavior reports are data that we have from our clean label enthusiast community. This is a behavior segment of the general population who care about and have interest in clean label products. The scores you'll see in these first 2 sections, the food and beverage and the supplement scores, are based on that implicit binary response of clean label enthusiasts being, quote, okay with an ingredient, if it's an ingredient they want to avoid. It is not based on how knowledgeable CLEs are about a specific ingredient and more about their perceptions. We're going to build a short report live together during this session. And if it goes too fast for you, you'll be happy to hear that we offer a monthly training session for account holders that goes into much deeper detail for how to use these applications and how they operate. We know this platform is a new approach to behavior data metrics, and we want to help you be successful. So the first thing you'll notice when you encounter the report generator are the different crosstab options available. For this example, we'll look at categories by ingredients. And we're going to come up with a pretend use case, and I will pretend to be developing a new beverage and want to review my sweetener options in regards to clean label perceptions. You'll see hundreds of ingredients that we have available to use in this food and beverage space by clicking through the subcategories. For the sweeteners, I'm going to click them all. My pretend team is curious on just what all of our generic options are, but you can select specific ones if you already have specific needs. Then, since I'm interested in beverages specifically, I want to have a focused data report. I'll select a few of the beverage categories my pretend team is discussing. So potentially the coffee and tea category, dairy, nutritional, and the non-carbonated sections. Naming of this report is really important because eventually you'll have lots of reports that are available to you in your dashboard. So you want to come up with something that's specific, that's easy for you to reference later. So for this situation, I'm going to name it Beverage Sweeteners. Previewing the report is a really critical step before you generate and spend your credits. We're going to give you a snapshot on what's being included, as well as how many credits it's going to take to run the report. So you'll see here the different ingredients that's going to be included. You also do a double check on the different categories that you were able to check off. You see how many credits is being quoted versus how many credits I have available to me in my balance. And then we're also going to review the sample sizes that are available from our community and from the database that we have available. A bunch of these numbers here are green. And it's important to note that these are not behavior scores yet. These are the sample sizes of what we have tested with CLEs by the ingredient crossed with the category. If we don't have enough data, you won't see a sample spot in there, and that's what's being recognized in this yellow box. We're telling you up front that we don't have enough data for corn syrup solids within one of those beverage categories or all of them. If we have data, but it might not be strong enough data, those sample size boxes will be in red. And you'll get the chance to go back and modify the components of your report based on the review of this preview, just so that we've managed your expectations on what's going to be included in your download. So for this pretend situation, everything looks good enough for us. We're going to run this report, and we'll show you what that export looks like. And what you'll see next is just how quickly this information is being pulled. This is not a new study that we're going to be fielding and executing and recruiting on. It's coming from our database of knowledge. So it quickly switched from executing to now here are the results because the platform has already run and cross-tabbed all of the data. The downloaded file is going to be an Excel document. As a really quick high-level snapshot, and again, a really good example for why you should start off with that ebook on the neuromarketing research techniques, is you're going to see all of the different ingredients that were included across the categories they've been tested against and this behavior score card that we've given it. This is not a percentage. This does not mean that 84% of CLEs rated honey the best. The behavior score instead is telling you that it's very strongly associated in a positive way with clean label perceptions. You'll also see that we have some statistical notations in here for your team to evaluate as well. And the deeper and more knowledgeable you become with our implicit test, you'll learn that we consider anything over a score of 75 has really strong implicit perceptions and connections to this clean label category. So for this project, we see that honey and banana puree are the most top rated sweetener options for the beverage section. Before we wrap up this quick tour, I'm also going to show you the testing center. This is our latest integration, and it has a lot of potential to help your insights and research and development teams gain access to data efficiently and quickly. In brief, the testing center is where you can order your standard and semi-custom research projects, everything from concept testing to home use tests and CLTs, growing and expanding ingredients and benefit associations, and more. Our goal with this addition to the Innovation Center is to cut through the noise and speed up the path to insight for innovation and new product development. We have done these types of studies hundreds to thousands of times over. There are standards to the survey and fieldwork design that we know work and work really well. Inside each of these research types is essentially an order form where you can plug in your sample sizes, customize your industry specifications, review the questionnaire structure, and add in a few places for customization. In each of these, you'll get an instant quote. And I'm going to take that a step further and say you're going to get an instant and adaptive quote. While you build your order form, the project cost and credit fees update in real time. This means you'll be able to budget faster and get into the field sooner. Now, sometimes you may have heard us describe this testing center as an assisted DIY platform. We say assisted because some of this process is automated. It's not completely hands-off. Just like other projects you may be partnering with Insights Now on currently, you'll still be paired with a research professional. You'll be telling us the exact metrics you need to collect, but Insights Now will coordinate the fieldwork and the execution for you. You'll still get to test and review surveys before they go out, and we'll still help with the analysis of the data if you need it. There are also options for downloading order forms to serve as contracts and statements of work, and you'll have your own project dashboard that shows you the status of the work from order submission to completion. Depending on where you are in the innovation pipeline, the different test options that are available from idea and concepting all the way through the claims process. There's also another area, this is also another area where we're growing and expanding quickly. Soon we're going to have additional project types, and we would love to learn your feedback on the type of projects you may want to request.
Okay, so thank you, Kate.
It's not, we got one more piece that's going to come up. I don't know if it's frozen, but
Right.
It's going to go to the live chat feature next.
Okay, it should be continuing to go.
Yep, there it goes. Let's pause for a moment there. So this chat feature that I just mentioned is not a chat bot. You might have been noticing it in the bottom corner of all of these screens here, where it's prompting you if you have any questions. Myself and a few other Insights Now team members are available to chat with you in real time while you try to navigate the Innovation Center. We know this is a really fast overview, but hopefully you saw there's a little something for everyone in the platform. Another thing that we're working on behind the scenes is a notification system. So all account owners will be alerted when new reports or scores or functionality has been updated. And Dave, I think we both agree that we have some really exciting things planned for this platform, and we can go ahead and move to the next slide.
Super. Thanks for that tour.
Not a problem. So one of the things that Dave and I have mentioned is that this Innovation Center is being unveiled in its new form today, but for the past year, we've been running the Behavior App Store, and we had some really brave and great clients that have been evaluating and using the App Store specifically. And we have got some quotes to support why this is so innovative and how this really helps your teams get to insight faster and more efficiently. For example, the Scoring Center has been very convenient for us. When my team has a meeting and is discussing which ingredients to use and what they think would be best perceived by consumers, we have an actual tool that can confirm their intuition. We now have a way to explore other possible ingredient options for unique purposes in real time. This platform, this Innovation Center, really helps you cut through that noise and get past assumptions and guesswork, because we have true and real data from consumers that are clean label and clean product minded. So in summary, the Innovation Center is a portal to generate behavioral insights faster. We currently have the three main area sections: the Learning Center, the Scoring Center, and the Testing Center, as well as that instant chat feature to help you navigate and get the most out of your experience. We'll also be sharing, if you're not currently a member, a unique login for you to explore the Innovation Center on your own. And like I mentioned during the tour, you're going to receive 3 trial credits that you'll have the option to spend by either downloading an ingredient scorecard report or even applying that to a project that you might want to order. I also mentioned the idea that we have monthly training sessions. Those are hosted on the last Wednesday of the month, and we have one coming up next week on January 27th. We'll also be sharing or extending an invite to that training session with all of the new accounts so that you can dive in deep and quickly and start using the Innovation Center to the best of its ability. We would really love to know some of the first thoughts you've had about this platform as we've introduced it to you. If you want to use either the chat box or the question box, all of your comments coming into us are individual or private. It doesn't get shared to the rest of the group. But go ahead and write in and let us know your feedback or your thoughts and how you think this platform may assist your team in 2021.
Yeah, we love to have your comments so we can answer any questions that you have right now. Or get back to you at another time if it's something that you would want to have more one-on-one dialogue with us. But utilize that the questions or chat for feature that is on the sort of the dashboard on the side here with regard to webinars now, and would love to answer your questions. Do you see any applications or any ways in which you think this may help speed up your insights or to raise the bar, so to speak, in insights delivery? Any questions about what are behavioral scores? You know, and what types of behavioral scores? We could delve into that. So there's like one question that's coming in here about cost. Do you want to step through that, Kate?
Sure. So the account itself, creating a login and getting access to the Learning Center is completely free of charge. We do have an annual license agreement that we'll put in place for access to the Scoring Center and the Testing Center, and all of that's based on a credit-based system, which we can share in more detail later. But to get started, yes, it's free, and you're allowed to explore how it works. And those 3 credits, and you see another question on here about the 3 credit situation. As a new member, we're going to almost gift you those 3 credits so you can explore and download a report that may be relevant to your team to get your feet wet and understand exactly what those metrics are and how you can use them in your planning.
Yeah, there's a question here about how do you get more credits? How does that work?
Getting more credits is a matter of partnering with your client partner, as well as working with myself as the director of the Innovation Center. We have a structure for how many credits or dollar amounts that we can go over in more time, but you can build and grow your credit base in any way that might work for your team. So you can do it project per project. You can do it report by report if that's what you'd like. However, we do offer a cost dollar discount for our purchasing a larger volume of credits from the onset.
There's a question here about the testing center, and the question is about turnaround time. What can you say about how that works, turnaround time and so on, between ordering and getting a final report?
Each timeline is going to be a little bit unique because there's not each of those testing situations are identical, right? It might take a little bit longer to set up your concept test and your home use test than it is the ingredient scorecard piece. Where we're speeding up time for that path to insight is that initial opening of the project, where you're not having to go back and wait for a real person to give you a bid, a cost, an estimate, review the specs, review the screener. We're cutting out a lot of those middle meetings by cutting to the chase a lot quicker. So I can't give you an exact timeline for each of those different testing situations, but we have known, and we do have support from our clients who have been using it, that it truly is a faster process.
Yeah, each one of these apps is different, but I'll give you an example. In the home use testing app, which is pretty cool, we one of the things we can pre-recruit to certain specific communities of people that are pre-set up, and they're distributed throughout the US in different cities, but we can actually get products right to people's doorsteps through a courier service very quickly, and get these products in field faster than you can doing a typical national sort of sample. And being able to do the courier means that you could test products that are, have a short shelf life, that have that are like say frozen, or require some sort of storage or something like that, to kept cold or whatever. So it's a lot of opportunities to quickly get those sort of studies in field, and not constrained in any way by the product itself. And see turnaround times. Oh yeah, there's another question here I see about instant quoting, and you had mentioned it, Kate, but someone says, I didn't see that. Did I just miss it?
Yeah, so we didn't actually showcase the live view of the instant quoting for the purposes of this tour. Your accounts do grant you access to that testing center, and you can see what we mean by the instant quoting in real time. We didn't want to be too budget sensitive depending on the individual groups that are joining us today. But within the testing center, whenever you open up the specific use case you're looking to explore, as you adjust your sample sizes, as you adjust your different variables of what you need tested in terms of total number of ingredients or total number of concepts or total number of markets, in the top corner of that order form, you're going to see just how quickly that price adapts in real time. And you'll also have the option to save that project. So you might use that as a resource tool with your budgeting teams with how much money you can plan to set aside for a specific component to the innovation process, as well as save it and come back to it. So with your first time setting up one of those order forms, you may not have all of the answers. That's completely okay. That's another great example of when you can use the instant chat box and connect with me directly and one-on-one to help get you through that ordering process a little quicker the first time.
Yeah, there's a question that just popped up here about international. How many countries can the testing center access? What about translating tests into a local language? So I'll field that one. So currently, this is designed for US. However, we are extending this, and you'll see some of the apps, especially those that are based on like concept testing and all that, can certainly and are being fielded globally. So we're quickly moving in that direction. And so, which includes is translation costs and things like that. So these are completely localized. So another question, can I set up my company with additional users or no? So that's another really good one. So Kate, do you want to step through the process of going from an individual user trial to a corporate account?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a little bit on the admin side and the background of how we're running this innovation center, but we can very easily connect who is specifically on your team, the shared access to the different scorecard reports, or who has access to the actual projects that you might have requested. We know there's probably some administrative pieces on your end as well in terms of procurement and who's going to be paying for those credits up front. And we can work through all of those nuances with you. But yes, you can have more than one person on your shared corporate account.
Yeah, we have some that have some of the corporate accounts have I don't know, 15, 20 people on account where people have access to this information and could respectively order from the same pool of credits that have been pre-purchased. Great. I don't see any other questions. Any final words, Kate, that you want to say?
Just that I'm really excited to take on this new role with the Innovation Center. I think it's going to be a real game changer for the industry as well as client teams and how they approach insight, innovation, and new product development. And I'm really excited to see where this gets expanded to and how we can continue to grow it together.
Great, yeah, and as well, we're really excited about raising the bar on insights through this. Next month, in terms of the webinar series here, we're going to be on February 11th. Greg Stuckey and I will be giving a presentation about some of our clean living resolutions that are coming from our community of clean label enthusiasts. This is the third year in a row we've done this. And in addition, we'll be kind of weaving in some of the insights that we have been amassing through over the last year regarding how the COVID has impacted and how we're seeing people forecasting how they'll be motivated to, increasing the demand for new products especially in the second half of 2021. So it's going to be exciting, year. We're exciting to talk about, the opportunities that we're seeing develop for consumer packaged goods companies in just about every single category that there is, food, beverage, all the non-food categories as well. So with that, thank you, everyone. Enjoyed having this opportunity. Kate, it was a pleasure to co-present with you.
Thanks, Dave. You too. Always a pleasure. And I learn
All right,
something
everyone.
new every time you speak.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.